welcome back to the table. It's Amy with Notes from Past Amy. I'm going to get right to this. This is my pen report for February 2024. Got all the pens lined up. You can see I did start. This is my second try, but I forgot to do the dry time test for all of these. So I did that, and now I'm back. I'm going to skip this part for now. I am on a time crunch, so I do want to fill out like the value parts of the pen and make sure I'm keeping in budget and things, which I know I am. And so I'll fill that out a little bit later. We're going to go ahead and do the top part where I write the pen experience number, what it is, the ink I used with it. I'll fill in that part later. Like I said, I'm on a time crunch right now, but I'll fill in these numbers here for the color match. That's how well it matches with what I want to come out of the pen, how well I feel it flowed, how long it takes to dry, and then the value of the ink, the price that you pay per mil. And this is not a sample price because that would just destroy the test. It's for 50 mil or 60 mil or 75 or 90 or at the smallest a 30. Whatever comes out to the best price, because that's how I would buy it. So that's what I want to know. Okay, and this should be in the same order that I did currently inked. So here we go, finishing off the Mayora Aventus with Rohrer & Klinger, that's the R&K Solferino. And I did fill this with color last time, and I think I liked that. We're not going to be precious about it because, you know, time crunch. But I did like having that there. I also put a space between them. I don't know if you noticed that. Probably not, but that's okay. Dry time, 10 seconds. It is warm down here, but, you know, that's just going to have to be how it is. Outside, it's about 25 below zero. And inside, definitely not. Probably more like mid-70s, pushing 80, because I'm right down here by the fire. So my dry times were quite good. Most was 10 seconds. The flex pens were closer to a minute, but it's just how it is right now because that's the conditions I'm working with. The Solferino, if I were to buy it, it would be at Cool Pens where it's 507. At least these were the prices last night when I looked them up for 50 mils, which puts it right at about 10 cents a mil, which is under 20 cents, so it gets 5-star. And that would be the report for Mayora Aventus. So that one worked well. Loved everything except I always had to take off the crusties when I first opened the pen, no matter how many days it had been since I last used it. Could have been the night before, could have been 3 days ago. I do cycle through my pens for rather frequently, so usually it's not like a week or 2 weeks or anything like that. River City Penco, Amethyst Frost, so I just call this one Amethyst. I do have actual names for a lot of these, but this one's just called Amethyst for Amethyst Frost because I couldn't think of anything clever. Nothing actually came to mind when I used it. Some of these, I actually have a name that came to mind, and we can talk about that more in the next one. But this one, yeah, Amethyst Frost. It has that beautiful scroll nib, hand engraved by Hooligan Georgia, Tim Cohen. And I inked this with Monteverde's Mulberry Noir, which I actually really loved. And I think we're just working with what's in the nib. Yes, because I switched this converter with my Jinhao X750 Pink Ice. Or it's pink, but I think Pink Ice is a cool name. And it had run out of ink, and I was in church, and I didn't have ink with me and such. And so I just put this cartridge, or, you know, converter, as a cartridge, switched them out. So this is the Jinhao converter that's in here currently. And this blended with the pink that was in the X750, and it's gorgeous. Of course, it's now out of ink because I used it. It was so pretty. So pretty. I'm going to be mixing that intentionally, I think, which means I might have to buy this ink. Thankfully, it comes to only 13 cents a mil, at least last night on Amazon. It was $11.76 for the 90 ml bottle. So I could see that to being purchased rather soon. Whoops, and this is Monteverde. That's what happens when I talk and write, or try to talk and write. Monteverde. You're getting some quick writing, sorry. Color match, it looks lovely. It's not, it's a little too black. It flows well though, and it dried quickly, and it's a good price. It's not quite what I want. I don't know what I want in here. I liked it better than what I had last month, but Still not quite right. The next pen I had was the Jinhao X750 Purple, and I have retired that one. It was very twisty for, I don't know, the past several months. But we had this thing, here we go. This, can you see how the top part is getting stuck in the cap? And it's very frustrating. It comes out of the grip section there. I think I took the converter out. Yeah, it's just pieces now. I've retired this. I got tired of trying to get this out. I only let it happen a couple times. I was not very tolerant of it. This is just being retired. It's like a $6 pen, and yes, it's pretty and purple, but nope. I bought this as the replacement. eBay recommended it to me, and I got it for under 100, so there we go. That's my rule. It's by the Herbert Pen Company, Goulet Pens Co. Spring 2019, and was an exclusive limited to 300. This is number 168, and look how beautiful that is. This is the Maymont model in a blank called Belladonna. No, Goulet named it Belladonna. The blank itself is called Lava Explosion, I think. I wrote it down. It's all documented. Originally sold for this amount, blah, blah, blah. And so this is the nib that I've always had in that purple Jinhao, but stuck it onto this one. I also took the feed from this pen. So the FPR nib with the Jinhao feed, and ta-da! So my experiment is if it dries out as quickly. I don't think it does, but I'm still working on that because things changed mid-month that I wasn't planning on. So I'm still experimenting with this. See, and this one is called Oran because to me it looks like the Northern Lights, and the name Oran means light. So I thought that was very fitting. This ink is Diamine Deck the Halls from the green ink vent, I believe. I don't think I've tried any of the purple ink vent colors. They have not come my way yet. And it's rather like black looking, but it's got this really cool magenta pink type of glitter in it, which I liked more than I thought I would. So I don't know how I feel about this. Color match, I want something purple coming out of this. It's maybe not perfect, but I did enjoy it a lot more than I thought I would. Diamine Deck the Halls. There we go. Flow, fantastic. So far it's been a 5. I have not really had to worry about priming this. That might go down, but for this one I'm feeling a 5. Dry time is terrible because it's flex, and so it takes forever, even on Stylogy paper. Price per mil, $15.20 for a 50 mil is the price at Colt Pens, which makes it 30 cents a mil, which gives it a 4. Okay. So there's the Herbert pen, and it came with a matching sleeve. It's never been posted, which is fantastic because I don't have to worry about a bunch of scratches down here because I don't post my pens either. Very happy about that. Okay, here's my River City. This is Lexi. She's made with a blank from Stormwinds that I don't think she makes anymore called Tiny Riot. Strawberry Whip Accents. This is Westwood model. It was in there, just had to find it. And I have it inked with pink. Now, I'm learning about pinks. These pinks that are so pretty to just write with, like I love this for just the writing. Lovely, beautiful. This is Birmingham Magnolia Mirage. Birmingham Magnolia Mirage. We're just going to make it fit. And it has a Ryan Krusak Architect nib on it. Lovely for writing. The color match, it's not the slightly coral type of color that's on the pen. Is it what I want to come out of the pen? Almost. It's almost what I want to come out of the pen. When I color with it, which I do with my pens all the time, this is Lexi. When I color with it, it looks kind of dirty, the way that Pelikan Edelstein Rose Quartz does. It's hard to explain. It doesn't look as pink. It looks like it's got some sort of gray or brown, and I think it's the blue coming through, because I like these pinks that tend to be a little more blue. But it's not quite right. And I used this a lot this past month with the heart challenge. I should show that to you at the end, that I've done. And it just, I don't know if we were clearing a tiny bit of blue out of the converter that didn't get washed out because it looks more pink now than it did at the beginning of the month, or what was going on, but I gotta figure that out. It's not quite perfect. The flow is fantastic though. This nib is beautiful. Dry time, about 10 seconds is enough, at least at the current temperature. $19 for 100 ml on the Birmingham website, which puts it at 19 cents a milliliter. Just at the top of the range for being what I would consider a value ink. And then we had, I love these custom pens. This is from London Pen Co. We have Christopher. He's a C14, and everything that this pen reminded me of, all the characters and like just the way this one got named, it's gonna have to be Christopher. London Pen Co. We're just gonna put C14 because it fits, but if I refer to Christopher, it's this one. And I put a Shimmertastic from Diamine in this Blue Lightning. D for Diamine. This one also got changed because I got some nibs off of Reddit, and this Opus 88 was one of the nibs. So this is technically 1.5, just as it had before, but it writes better than the Bock nib that it had before. Yes, this is a JoWo nib. I just took out the Bock nib and feed, and I inserted the JoWo nib and feed into the Bock collar. So there we go. I can't decide if I like this color or if I want it a little bit darker. I think I liked the blue from last month better. So we're gonna go 4 here. This nib I like so much better than the Bock nib. Dries a little bit longer because we've got more ink coming out. And then price per mil, this is Diamine ink, $9-ish for 50 mils. So under 20 cents a mil. This is an odd angle for me to be filling that out at because I have the pen tray right under me. But that nib is so much better. Then we're going to move to the Burst Waterman. I had these nibs backwards, and see the ink all over this thing? And my hands, this finger is so inky these days because I keep using these small pens and then the finger rests here, and so it's just pouring ink on it the whole time I'm using the pen, which is a pain and looks terrible, but I guess I'm okay with it because I keep using the pen. But the pen is to get a different body for the nib, but then I gotta work out the feed, and see, I did it again. Ink does not taste very good, but for some reason I always do that. Ugh, gross. Okay, hold on. Some inks just taste absolutely terrible, especially the dark tealy ones. Ugh, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Anyway, this is a Waterman 52, and this is my New York nib. Not unique at all. Fantastic nib. Tiny, so terrible to size and shape. I think it gets like a 1. It's all the way at the bottom. And the price actually is, I got these for quite a good deal. So my price chart is going to be pretty good. The ink is another Diamine Shimmertastic. Love these shimmery Diamine inks. They work so beautifully in my flex pens or broader nibs. So much shimmer and sparkle. They're just beautiful. And I love this color in this pen. It doesn't match the black hardened rubber or whatever this is called. And this part's the only part that's black. The other one's completely black, but for some reason it's labeled that way. I'm not going to put a blacky brown ink in this. That's just too depressing, especially for winter. Flow's amazing. Takes forever to dry because it's a flex. But the ink is affordable and looks fantastic. So, whoops, I forgot to color in the colors. Aww. But this is such an underrated ink. I love this ink so much. We used a sample. We're working on a bottle. And when it's in this flex stim, I use like a couple mils per month. It's just how it is. Okay, let me get it going a little bit, and then ooh, it's coloring pretty nicely. I wonder if it's because it's extra warm today, or maybe because I primed it first. Got some ink coming out. Probably because it's pretty dry at the bottom. Let's fill in this Blue Lightning. These shimmer inks, why would you not fill this in? So beautiful. I just think I like, not Blue Lightning. Okay, there's two that are Arctic. One is from Diamine Ink Vent, and the other is from the Shimmertastic line. I think I like the other Shimmertastic one, but it's like Arctic Blast and Arctic something. They're similar. Okay, let's see if we can get this kind of weird color when we do this. Or it's not as true a pink, it looks dirty. It's looking okay right now, probably because we're on camera and it's on its best behavior. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. Another reminder to flip to the hearts at the end so you can see what it actually looked like. All right, so Camille's back. This is a Velma model from Bone Crusher with an Omniflex nib, which if you saw my last video, you know I prefer over the Jowo Extra Fine Flex. I don't know that there's really a difference. They look the same, except this one says Omniflex. It's a little fancier than the other one, which just has EF over here and it's plain. It is what it is. I prefer what I prefer. So Bone Crusher, Velma model. Her name is Camille though. And then the ink, another Shimmertastic. What can I say? Unpredictable. Diamines. Frosted Orchid. And I'm trying to decide if this is really what I want in this pen or if it's not. Depending on the paper, this ink changes. So here it's more of a nice, beautiful purple color, but if I'm using it, you know, in the cheap notebook that I take to church, it's not so inspiring. Let's just put it that way. Not a color I'm super fond of, and maybe that's the deal with the pink too. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't figured that all out. It would take me some more time. The way this is coming out right now, I love it. I love this more purpley color. It looks beautiful. Is this the one I switched? This does not look like Frosted Orchid. Like, I know this is a different paper than I was using Sunday, but this is way more purple. This is the combo, I bet. I'll bet it wasn't the pink flex. I'll bet it was this one. Let me think. What's in that? Yes. These are both in the same pen case. These are the ones that got combined. See how beautiful that is? Like, no wonder I like this. So it's got to have a little shimmer in there, kind of a pinky undertone. We were talking about the Lamy Dark Lilac. Surely you've been around this past week for all of that. I love this color so much better than that. So this is not Frosted Orchid. This is Altered. Mixed. Okay, I had my pens wrong. Evidently the pink one was already out. Probably was. This is pretty. This is very pretty. So we've got 18 cents a mil for Frosted Orchid. It runs about $9 for 50 mils on Colt pens. And then the Mulberry Noir from Monteverde is $11.76 to $15 for 90 mils, which still puts it under 20 cents a mil. So no matter how you slice it, it's going to be in the best category under 20 cents a mil. Ideally, it'd be fantastic to have 10 cents a mil, but that is really hard to find. Dry time, a little slower because this is wetter. Has a beautiful flow. I like this color match better than the plain Frosted Orchid. Had my pen wrong, but I was talking about it over here. This is quite good. I've been considering this a pink ink pen, so I might do a little bit of mixing with Frosted Orchid to make it go pink instead of purple, but I really like this. I could see myself mixing this exact same thing again. Oh man, I don't know. Does it even qualify for color match if I don't know what color it is? Color match. I like it. I don't know that I want a heart. Maybe a star. Like, play with this. You got a beautiful color there. Oops, sorry. I thought I was showing all pens that hadn't been mixed, but I got my pen mixed up. A lot of mixing in this. This one feels a little dry. You can hear it. Part of it's the nib. I think part of it's also the ink. This is Troublemaker Foxglove, and Troublemaker inks are known to be a little dry. So, Esterbrook SD Lilac, the original. That's why it's silver. She needs a name. Something beyond SD, but anyway, she's a fine, and I haven't thought of anything. The color is perfect. The flow is not quite what I want it to be. Dry time's great. Also, it's hot down here. And then it runs about $12 for 60 mils, which puts it right at 20 cents a mil if you get it from Jet Pens. Not Jet Pens. If you get it from Colt Pens. If you get it from somewhere like Jet Pens or another shop that's stateside, it will be more. It won't be under 20 cents a mil. I love this ink because of the color. And I was originally going to put in a little bit of White Lightning from Vanessa, and I just never got it done. I just kept using it dry. I know. This one that I messed up, this is for the pen that's out of ink. Just gonna grab this gel pen. I know. Blasphemous. Jinhao X750 pink. So this is an FPR Ultra Flex nib, and I'm looking for the ink. What ink did I have in here? It was pink ice. How are we gonna fix this? Just like that, Diamine, and move on with life. Pink ice. Alright, and this one is not a unique pen. The nib is beautiful. I love these FPR Ultraflex nibs. Oh, so beautiful. And the price of the pen is fantastic because it's a Jinhao X750. Color match was fairly good. I was pretty happy with the pink I had in this one in my hand, as well as the X750 pink. Pink ice looked better in large amounts and not quite so coral. I'm going to play with it some more. It's not quite what I want. Look how cute that is. This one hasn't darkened, this ink, the way Kindness did, so the match is like perfect. This one's next, so we're going to go ahead and note that. Flow is really good. I used it all. Dry time was terrible because it's a flex nib. And this ink is a little bit more expensive. Pink ice was from Red Ink Vent, I think, and it's about $13.50 for 50 mils, which puts it mid my next range, between 20 and 35. It's about 30 cents a mil. So that's that one. Sorry, it's out of ink. The pen looks like this, except it's pink, and it doesn't have all the problems that this one does. Yes, I am already looking for a new body for it, because I know that will probably be happening at some point. It has a number, I just don't remember if it's 36 or 37. The purple one was one and the pink one was the other. So that will get filled in later. This is from Divine Pens Plus, and this is Barbie. She is a Shady Side? No, she's a, I don't even know. I just call her Barbie. I call them by their names. So, this is Barbie. But she's from Divine Pens Plus. If you need Summerland, she's Summerland and Pink Radiance. There you go. If you need it, it's right there. And this color matches amazingly well. This is a fine Nagahara Cursive Italic grind from Franklin Christoph. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. it's hard to do, this is 30 cents a mil, so 4. It's hard to do line work, like Zentangles and things with these fancy grinds or something large like that. This is the Architect. Those are hard to use. Even something soft like the Omniflex. Look how beautiful those are. Because of the nature of the grind. So that's why I like having standard, 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 even though it's dry, or it was dry this month. Just like regular pens, because I like to do that kind of thing. Even if I don't show it off, I still like to do it. Oops, and I forgot to write which ink this was. This ink, oh, I didn't even talk about it. This ink was from Private Reserve. It was a sample I got sometime this past semester. Private Reserve. Rose Rage. It's almost too bright, but it matches the pen so well. This has been an old standby for me. This is such a great writer. Pen Experience number 15, and it's a Monteverde. I know they don't get a whole lot of love, but I got a really good one. Giant Sequoia, or just Sequoia, in my notes. In the turquoise color. Not unique at all. Its nib is fantastic. This is the stock nib. This is the one Bock nib that I have that has been amazing. It's just a fine. I picked it up on clearance when I first got into pens, November of 22. And I really enjoyed the color of ink that I had in here last month. Or maybe it was December. I'm getting it all mixed up. I don't know. It's always inked. And I like having this kind of color in it. Last time I had a Wearingeul ink, which is not a value ink. And this isn't exactly a value ink either, but the colors are so beautiful. They match the pen perfectly. Actually, these colors are basically the same, but it didn't bother me because I really like this color in this pen. The color match is fantastic. I've had a really good experience with this nib. As long as you don't put shimmer in it. I did try shimmer one time and that did not go well. But any just standard ink looks beautiful. I think there's a little more shading with the Wearingeul ink than with this one, but yeah, I'm going to keep playing around, see if I can find something a little bit more cost effective, because the Graf von Faber-Castell, the Graf von Faber-Castell inks, I'm trying to write this small and it's getting all smashed, turquoise, these are not the cheapest inks. $32, and it could be $35 depending on the shop you're looking at. For the 75ml bottle, those are great to start plants in, by the way. 43, 45, it's right in the 3 range on my little chart, between 35 and 50 cents a mil. Like, not terrible, it's nice for a splurge, but you can find cheaper inks if you want to. Dry time was great. It's warm here, but, you know, at least inside. And then the last pen, the black hard rubber that's actually black all the way through. And this is another Waterman 52 with that little size 2 nib and the heart cutout. Super cute. 60 and 61. See, 60 and 61. Now we're probably trying to get the rest of the brown out, but it is slowly turning more golden. It has Diamine, Shimmertastic, Golden Sands. I should just like advertise for Shimmertastic line from Diamine, shouldn't I? Kind of embarrassing, but I love them so much. They're quite affordable, and there, it looks more golden. And they just work so well. Last March I went a little crazy buying the Shimmertastics because I wanted to try these different colors, and a little sample from Goulet, so 2 mils, it's like $2.50. And I know they're having a sale right now, but they weren't at the time, and I wanted to have these different colors. So I got, not all of them, half a dozen? 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7, and then my son has 1. So we have 8 of the Shimmertastic bottles from that line. And this is not usually quite so brown, but I'm still trying to get all the brown out of here. These things are hard to clean. Super easy to refill, but hard to clean. That's why they have dedicated colors, because I don't want to spend half my life cleaning them. Color match, this is what I want to see coming out of here. A little more yellow, but I'm working on that. So I'm going to keep Golden Sands in this. The flow is fantastic. Dry time is terrible. The story. Well, the tablet died, so I finished filling this out by myself. I've got all the pen scores. Hopefully it's sort of clear. These scores, all the things. Yeah, a couple of times. I forgot one is actually not an original design. So like Jinhao pens. So there's some ones that have been changed to 2s. Of course, I just messed up this whole thing, so that one looks funky. There we go, yeah, and I picked up the wrong pen to write that, so the beginning of it's in the wrong color. There's a 2 that was made from a 1. It is what it is. There's a big dot from a new pen I don't know very well that put out an extra blub of ink for me. But that's this. So, pen report for February. It doesn't fit in there now because I'm too close. But I also wanted to show you this challenge that I've been working on. Oops, actually finished last night. So here we go. The prompts. I think my son spilled his drink here because I've never had that happen. This is the Golden Sands, and you can feel the ink buildup right here. It's very interesting. I just taped that in. On the following page, we have all of the hearts filled in with their prompts. Isn't this fun? This was so much fun. And it's kind of embarrassing how long some of them took to kind of design. I have several pages filled with hearts that are not in here. This is a quote block. This is the, I think it's the Lone Star. There's so many stars. I think this is the Lone Star. Of these, I don't really remember any of these. I wasn't born till here. And I do remember this Thousands print, the leopard style. I remember it came in this beautiful purple color, and it also came in pink. Does anyone else remember that? Surely it's not just me. Of course, the Zentangle is based on the Zentangle I use for all of my cards. Like so. Except I did it several times, so much smaller. These hearts are not that big. Triangles, preppy, punk. This is my darkest one because, you know, I was going for punk. Here's that Magnolia Mirage. This one has the altered Frosted Orchid in the yes. So that beautiful purpley color. Is that Frosted Orchid or is that Memory Lane? Now I don't even know. Because that happened recently and these were done recently. So then I combined several colors. And then this is the hashtag because 30 hearts in only 29 days. Super, super fun. I think this one has some tropical glow. If you get it at the right angles, you can see how shiny and sparkly some of these little loops are. At first I thought there was some Emerald of Chivor, but I don't see that now. It was probably Robinson Crusoe and Udinil. Maybe. I'm not sure. I didn't write any of this down. I just wanted this to be fun and not crazy. I know these aren't the colors of the 70s, but I was not about to break my color palette for the 70s. So, super fun. Love how this turned out as a just as an art piece. It took way too long, but hopefully they do it again. This was with Mark Your Pages and Plants That Blossom, so hoping they do it again. And like this was really, really quick, and then figuring out what I was going to do here took way too long. This, probably embarrassing. That one, it was just Zentangle time. This one I had to copy, like trace from a picture online, and then trace into here because where it was located on the tablet, I couldn't use it as a light box. It was just ridiculous. And then these, I didn't know what to do, and so I had to look up wallpaper from that era, and yeah. This one was probably one of my most time intensive because I didn't know how to draw a flag, and then I was trying to do colors that like went together with what I already had inked, and yeah, that was kind of a disaster. This swirly one, I tested different types of swirls, different sizes of swirls. And then that was super fast. I had to have a few of those. This one was fast. This wasn't that bad. The idea for it didn't take long. Actually doing it was a little bit different story because so many little boxes. These really aren't that big. See? 3 hearts fits into a 4-inch space, and then they are just over an inch and an eighth from top to tip. So yeah, I got a lot of little Zentangle packed in there, but this was super fun. All the pictures, like each day individually, are on my Instagram if you want to see them more closely and maybe in better light. I don't know. It's always hard to tell when I'm at the table what the lighting is like. But regardless, hope you enjoyed this if you stayed this long. Thanks for watching. As always, I will be back next week. Bye!